Hello, everyone. This is Darlene with SeniorLivingGuide.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Does the idea of searching for senior housing solutions seem overwhelming and you just aren't sure where to even begin? That's okay, because I have great news. We offer a one-stop solution to take the stress out of your senior housing search. We have created a senior housing search website, which is super easy to navigate, providing you details on communities, including retirement, assisted living, skilled nursing, memory care, and even home health, all on one website, allowing you to decide which best fits your needs, connecting you directly with those communities. So please visit us online at SeniorLivingGuide.com to start your search today and start de-stressing. And we are going to talk today about brain games and keeping your brain active with our guests that we have in the podcast studio today, which our guests are Dr. Pam Tronetti and Janet Rooks. Dr. Tronetti is an osteopathic physician who specializes in geriatrics. Janet Rooks is a social worker and a dementia care specialist. They work together at the Parrish Senior Consultation Center, where they focus on the care of patients with dementia. Dr. Tronetti is the Director of Aging Services at Parrish, and Janet Rooks coordinates Parrish Senior Solutions, which provides education, resources, and supports for seniors and caregivers. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies, and I'm really excited to talk about this subject because it's really an important one as seniors start to age, and even probably not even quite seniors, but just in general, just keeping your brain active and healthy. And there's a lot of different solutions. Yeah. So let's get started. So as we hear about this, how important is it to keep your brain active and why?
Well, memory is a way of holding on to things that the things that we love.
Right.
Okay. As we age, we never want to lose those things. 10% of the people over the age of 65 will have some form of dementia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, over the age of 85, 1 and 2 will have some type of dementia. So, as every 70 seconds, someone will be diagnosed with some type of dementia. By the year 2050, it's every 30 seconds. It's kind of staggering.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of folks.
Yeah, definitely.
But what I think frightens people is as we age, just like we have more aches and pains and we can't run as fast, we can't sing as strongly, you have some little memory gaps. And people are afraid, oh, is this just normal?
Yeah.
Is something wrong? What can I do to keep my brain healthy and active? Because our memories are ourselves. Even if you're a runner, if you can't use your feet, you still have the mindset of a runner. But if suddenly you can't remember how to do things, you've lost yourself. And that's how patients will describe it. That's how their families will describe it.
Exactly. What are some red flags?
Well, you get a little forgetful.
Between the normal age.
Let's go with what should we expect? What are the normal changes? And the first thing, of course, is forgetting the right word or the name if you're under pressure. More than once I have said, well, this is my friend and colleague, and I looked at Janet and could not remember her name to save my life. But then it came back later.
Right.
So you're saying, well, I can't remember the name of something. I can't remember who that movie star is. But then an hour or two later, you remember it. And, when we talk to groups, we'll say to people, now, if suddenly you remember John Wayne, don't exclaim that in the middle of the night or during moments of intimacy, because then your husband or wife will be a little bit shocked at, oh yeah,
John Wayne.
John Wayne.
Right.
I just remembered it.
Exactly.
And that, people will call the office and say, I've got dementia. Family members are saying I'm having difficulty they've noticed it. But when you have noticed it, you're having problems with paying bills. You're having problems, getting lost when you're going to something that's familiar. You're having problems with the things that were normal to you, routine tasks.
Those are the real red flags.
Yeah, they really are.
When it's kind of annoying, you walk into a room and go, what am I here after? that's normal aging.
Right.
You leave your glasses on your head, normal aging.
Right.
It's when it interferes with your day-to-day life, or your family and friends are saying, you know what, we love you and something's wrong.
Right.
But if you walk into that room and you don't even remember that you were looking for something, that's to be concerned about. And we, there's folks that have done that. In the office, I have gone down the hall to get something and get distracted. And it's like, oh man, I was going after something, and I'll turn around and go back, start back into my office, because it's like, I know that if I go back in there and see something, it's going to trigger it. I don't even have to get back to my office, and it clicks.
Right.
But if someone walks into that room and they're done, well, I'm just going to get involved with something else, that's not a red flag. Or that is a red flag, That is a red flag. So, but family members are saying, their bills aren't getting paid. There are things, papers are getting cluttered up, that sort of thing. That's a red flag.
Yeah, definitely. So is like stress and anxiety sometimes some of the reasons why people forget things or things like that? Is that sometimes mimic?
Absolutely. All of our caregivers come in and say, I think I'm catching it because I am forgetting that I left something on the stove. I'm forgetting where I parked. Because if you're under a lot of stress, to make it simple, it's like the brain can only do two things. It thinks and it feels.
Right.
If it's so overwhelmed with emotion and stress and anxiety, and you're not sleeping right, you're not eating properly, of course you're going to forget. That's your body's way of saying something's wrong and something needs to change in your lifestyle.
Exactly. So question, I've heard if you don't use it, you lose it. So what does that mean, and is that exactly true?
Yeah, absolutely, because the brain is not a true muscle, but you've got to use your brain.
Right.
You've got to keep it hydrated, and you've got to feed your brain, and they've got to be good food. It's not junk food, not a lot of sugar, not a lot of things, but, and you've got to have good rest. When we sleep, that's when the brain rejuvenates. It also purges a lot of stuff. And, I keep a notepad by my bed so that when I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm thinking, oh, I need to I don't get up and write something down. I just roll over, or I can make myself a little note. But the brain does need to have those things to function properly.
That is an incredibly important tip, because I think most people, and I think women, men may be doing it as well, but I think women have all these running lists all the time that they're running in their head, and they wake up in the middle of the night, and unless they write it down and purge it, they keep running, and they don't sleep well, or they don't go back to sleep.
It's really interesting because I wear glasses, and sometimes I can't read what I've written, but I've gotten it out.
Yeah.
And sometimes in just thinking about, okay, what was on my mind the day before, it'll come to me, and it may be to do something at work. It may be something I need to do at home. It may be a phone call I need to make, but I've gotten it out of my thought process during the night. I roll over and go back to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't have to get up, go into the kitchen, put my glasses on, write it down, because then that interrupts the sleep process, and I'm wide awake.
Yeah, that's an excellent tip. So thank you so much for sharing that. So you mentioned nutrition. We always go back to nutrition,
we do.
Which, if you like junk food and sugar, that's such a bummer. But at the end of the day, that really is such an important part in the aging, and just in general, but definitely as you age. So what are some healthy things that folks should be eating, especially if they do have concerns about dementia as they age?
Protein. Your brain needs protein to work. And a lot of individuals are changing their diet, and I've changed mine. I know Dr. Palm has changed hers. Protein is very, very important. A lot of people have gone vegan and vegetarian.
Yeah.
And there are foods that you can get the protein without eating meat.
There's a lot of plant-based options.
There really are. But, men need 56 grams of protein every day, and women need 46 every day. Now, I'm not saying that that's for everybody across the board. If you're on a special diet due to health issues, and there are some health issues that limit protein, check with your doctor. Don't go say, well, I heard on a podcast this is what I have to have.
Right.
Check with your doctor about your protein intake. but for the average individual, that's what it is. Also, you've got to have healthy carbs, and that's complex carbs.
Okay.
I'm not talking about your sugars, your simple sugars that's going to break down and that sort of thing. Make sure that it's complex carbs.
Okay.
Fruits and vegetables. Make sure your plate is colorful. You know, we're very blessed here in Florida that we can get the fresh veggies, the fresh, colorful foods year-round. Organic, or the healthy ones as well. And, you know, eat healthy. Make sure that you do that.
Healthy food is actually really delicious.
It really is.
If you prepare it well and if you start really eating it, it actually is really, really delicious.
Yeah, and don't forget the healthy fats. You know,
Those are actually really good.
they really are. And, you know, a lot of people will eliminate them, but your brain needs the healthy fats as well.
Yeah. No, I agree. So what do you not eat? What's something that you want to kind of avoid that might be in, like what types of, are there proteins that you maybe want to kind of avoid?
No, but when we look at healthy eating, we are focusing now on the inflammatory foods.
Okay.
Because they're doing a lot of research with inflammation as a trigger to develop the plaques and tangles in the brain that results in Alzheimer's disease.
Oh, wow.
So if you look on a lot of the arthritis websites, the legitimate organizations, they found a connection between inflammation in the joints with certain groups of foods. And again, they're extrapolating inflammation of the brain, of the blood vessels. The key, easy way to remember it, is a Mediterranean diet.
Yes.
And that is not overdoing the meats. Avoid processed food.
Right.
Avoid packaged food.
Yeah, and red meats, I think. Red meats are more, typically can be more inflammatory. Is that correct or no?
It is, but again, we walk that fine line because what we're also seeing is, where's the most cholesterol in your body? It's in your brain. So people are cutting way, 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 way back because they're being told, oh, you want to lower your cholesterol, so don't eat red meat.
Right.
But then they're losing out on iron and B12 and sometimes D vitamins. There's all kinds of things. That's why we're supposed to be omnivores. We're supposed to have all the different types of foods, but things that are packaged, frozen, instant. If you can't read the ingredients, because the names are too long, don't eat them.
That's exactly, when we were talking about this, I'd mentioned that to her, saying, you know, if you can't pronounce the word and you can't read it, probably shouldn't be in your body.
Yeah. It's all about balance, clearly.
Exactly.
It is.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can never have a donut for the rest of your life.
Thank you.
I was just going to say.
And I love the blueberry cake donuts, and right now the pumpkin donuts, and you know, and but in moderation.
Right.
You know,
Right.
You know,
We have folks who are eating pastries for breakfast and cookies with lunch, and you know, pies at dinner. They're just eating too much.
Too much. Yeah.
Your body is spending more energy processing and getting rid of the toxins than it is gaining nutrition.
Right.
And you mentioned about the sugars and stuff. I have some arthritis in my hands, and the other day I was eating some cookies that were brought in. They were delicious. They were bakery cookies and stuff, and I paid for it the next day. I mean, it was just, and then it was pushing the water, getting it out of my system, and this sort of thing. But, you know, is it worth it? Yeah, it was worth it. They were really good. I'm not going to eat them every day. It's the holiday season.
It's a treat.
You know, and, you know, they were really good.
Yeah.
Am I going to eat them every day? No. But was it worth it? Yeah. So don't deprive yourself all the time. Don't.
Right.
But, you know, enjoy it. But know that it's not necessarily that good for you.
Right. Exactly. Well, I think that's really super important to kind of find that balance that's really good for you, and make sure you're taking the right vitamins probably in order to help with that balance as well. So those are really good things to notate. So with your so just this one question. So are there normal declines in our memory as we age that have, you know, they're just normal, it's not based on you can eat super healthy, live a super healthy lifestyle, and they're just normal?
yeah, there's lots and lots of factors to everything.
Sure.
But yeah, you expect some memory loss. And one of the best descriptions I've heard too was Dr. Rosemary Laird talked about when you're a kid, your brain's like a filing cabinet. What's in that filing cabinet when you're 20?
Right.
Well, it's what you learned in school and your neighbors and the songs that you like. When you're 60, it's every job you've ever had, every person you've ever met, every Christmas present you've ever had, every address, every bill you've ever paid, every song you've heard, every TV show you've watched. So have you ever had a filing cabinet that you've had for years and you can barely even open it? So when somebody asks you a question, your brain is trying to go through that overstuffed filing cabinet, trying to find the answer. It's going to take longer.
Right.
When they actually do studies of intelligence, because they wanted to know, do you lose intelligence as you get older? If you just give the intelligence tests and don't time them, the older people do as well, if not better, than younger people. It's when you put the time pressure.
The stress and anxiety.
Exactly. Then people are trying to hurry up. They're trying to get their brain to process faster. They can't quite get to the answer fast enough. Give the person a little more time, and you can get to the right answer. So you practice kind of a mindfulness. Let me think about what I'm doing. You know, we're often overly busy. You know, we walk into the bathroom to get a bath towel, and oh look, the sink's dripping. Oh, did I brush my teeth? I got to. Oh, look at my hair. Let me fix that. Ah, what is that on the? Oh, I need to empty the wastebasket. And you walk out and you go, wait, I didn't get the bath towel. Am I losing my memory? No, you just tried to do too many things at the same time.
That's not attention deficit disorder.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole different podcast.
Yeah, it's being a parent too. Like, oh my gosh, look what they did to this room.
Exactly.
You step on a rubber ducky and it's all over.
It's all over.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and so, you know, you notice it's so interesting because even folks that sometimes are over 100 and they're older, they can be sharp as tacks. My grandmother, well, my great grandmother, over 100, sharp as a tack, and my grandmother who passed away at 99, sharp as a tack. But you know, I have had my father passed away at 72 with dementia, so it's just very strange that you can have, you know, some folks that age well into their hundreds that just sharp as a tack.
And some of that is genetics.
Right.
Some of it is lifestyle. And some of it has to do with the fact of it has to do with, it's just the reality of it.
Right.
And, you know, and we've seen some people in their 40s. And, you know, sometimes the medication will help, sometimes it won't. We'll make Dr. Tronetti make recommendations as far as medication. It's the supportive environment, and it goes back to what I talked about in the beginning. We don't know,
but and kind of dovetailing on what can increase your risk. There's a dementia called vascular dementia. It's mini strokes. So diet. To help control diabetes, cholesterol, blood pressure, decreases your risk of stroke, therefore decreases your risk of the dementia that's associated with the mini strokes. So when you talk about people with chronic medical conditions, people who are 100 generally didn't have those chronic medical conditions when they're 40 and 50 and 60.
Right.
So they've been spared that.
Right. Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, my dad actually was diagnosed with the vascular dementia. And when you talk about, you know, they said like mini strokes, I'm thinking like he's having strokes, but it's literally just strokes in your brain, correct?
Yeah, remember what a stroke is.
Right.
It's a blocked blood vessel that is feeding an area of the brain. A heart attack is a stroke of the heart. It's a blocked blood vessel that the little area of the heart doesn't get the blood flow. So you can have an area of the brain, the tip of a ballpoint pen, that's its size, and its job was to pay a bill. So one week somebody can pay a bill, over the next week that little tiny thread-like blood vessel gets plugged up, that area of the brain gets no nutrition, oxygen. you've had a stroke in the area of your brain that told you how to pay a bill.
Right.
So 1 week you could do it, the next week you
And
can't.
and there's no knowledge that that's happening. It's not like
Right.
you're pain. It's not like, you're going, oh my gosh, I have a major migraine or I'm not feeling well. It's happening and you don't know that it's happening.
It's robbing you.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes after we talk to family members, it could be like they were in a daze. It was brought to them. Well, yeah, I've noticed that sometimes they'll do that, but I didn't know it was anything. I thought they just weren't paying attention to me.
Right.
But when you start peeling the layers off the onion, if you will, there are a lot of uncontrolled diabetes, uncontrolled hypertension, and other things that are going on that can attribute to the condition.
Yeah.
And we did talk about nutrition. We touched on sleep and how important that is.
Yeah.
And we rob ourselves of sleep. We're staying awake too late. We're having caffeine in the afternoon and the evening, and people say, oh, no, coffee never bothered me.
Keeps me going.
It keeps me, but now you fall asleep, but the caffeine's circulating in your system, and it wakes you up at 2 a.m, and then you can't get back to sleep.
Yeah.
Or you're watching the movie, and I'll just watch The Godfather for the 100th time until 2 a.m, because I don't have to get up and go to work. And so people are sabotaging themselves by not getting that restful sleep, so your brain can process, it can produce the chemicals, it can file away the memories of the day. And sleep health is very important for brain health.
And it's a restful sleep. It's not that.
Yes.
It's the, what do they call it? The deep sleep. What is that called?
The REM.
The REM. So
sleep.
getting a REM sleep.
Or they're napping during the day, and it's robbing them of the ability to get that deep sleep because they're getting those little power naps, if you will, and then when it's bedtime, they're not sleepy.
Yeah.
Or even if you're not napping, if you're just sitting there watching TV for 10 hours, you're passive. You don't do anything to make yourself tired.
Right. Right. Exactly. So when should you start worrying about memory loss? I mean, what are some things that...
When it interferes with your daily function.
Okay.
When you can't do the things that you used to do, and I mentioned the bill paying and this sort of thing. When people notice it, and it's real common when whether it be a spouse, and I hear that a lot. Well, my husband says, "Can I bring my husband to the appointment? He's the one that's noticed this." When other people are commenting, whether it be people at your church, siblings, children. Oh, you've said that a dozen times. Would you quit telling me the same thing? I know I've got a doctor's appointment. I know that I did this. When it interferes with your ability to do the things. When you're concerned.
Yeah, and that's what we hear is, well, Mom, I told you 3 times that we were meeting tomorrow. Or, Mom, you told me 3 times that we had to be ready. One of the questions we also ask is, do you have to think through things that used to be automatic? If you used to put together a recipe with both hands, no problem. And now you have to get all the ingredients out and all the measuring cups out and really think, did I put this in? Did I mix this? That's kind of a sign that you're having to work to think through things.
Exactly. And, did you have to give up a job? Did you have to retire early? Did you have to give up that job?
Because you were struggling with it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's a word that we hear. It's overwhelming now. Being on the church treasurer is overwhelming. And we'll see, well, what does the desk look like? Are they moving a piece of paper from over this pile and then it goes over to that pile and then they look at it and it's not making any sense. What do I do with it? So then it gets put on the pile again. So we'll hear about piles and piles of papers. And the water bill might not get paid because it's at the bottom underneath piles of papers about charities and sweepstakes and everything.
Are you losing things that are important? Are you losing things, period?
Right.
Losing things that you need to follow up, whether it be the utility bills or this sort of thing. Is the responsibility that you got too complicated and someone else is trying to step in, and we hear that from the children. She can't do it anymore. He can't do it anymore. Are you having problems driving?
Yeah, the driving's a big one for sure.
yeah.
And remembering, I know I go to this store. I go to this doctor. I haven't been to this eye doctor in a year, but now I can't remember how to get there. But I've been going there for like 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's not something you go to frequently. Yeah, that's definitely, I think, would be a huge red flag.
And when you think there's something wrong, you know, other people have noticed it, but when you think there's something wrong.
Because we'd rather have somebody come in and say, I think there's something wrong, and we find, oh, look, it's a side effect of one of your medicine. Oh, look, it's a medical problem. Oh, you have an underactive thyroid. You have a vitamin deficiency, and we can fix it. We'd rather have you come in and be told, no, you don't have Alzheimer's. That's our big day, rather than have you wait and wait and wait and wait. And now the medical problems or the sleep apnea or the other problems have done some damage.
And if you catch it earlier and you can get medication, it's definitely better than waiting till later. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like having cancer and not getting diagnosed and then waiting until it's like stage 4. Yeah.
Because sometimes as it goes on, you have other complications that can rise up.
Yep.
Okay. So what can you do to keep your brain active? Because we really want to keep that brain rocking and rolling so that you stay as healthy, because you can only, you can eat healthy, you can have, certain genes that are going to help you avoid dementia and Alzheimer's. But if you still have, those things going against you per se, what are some things that you can do to keep your brain active?
Well, you want to do something that's going to cross the midline.
Okay.
Because the brain you got your right side and your left side. So you want something that's going to cross that midline. I often tell folks to, do this crisscross exercise just to cross that midline. Wake that brain up. And it's kind of silly, but do it. Because, if you write your name, if you're right-handed, write your name with your left hand. You really have to think about it.
I wasn't sure what you meant by midline, so now I'm getting what you're saying. Okay.
Write your name with your left hand. Your non-dominant hand. I'm right-handed. Your non-dominant hand. When we sign our name or write our name, for those of us that have a signature, the kids now, they are not taught how to write in cursive.
I know.
And that's our code to do this.
Right.
But you really think about it. You have to concentrate on those letters.
Right.
But write it with your non-dominant hand.
Okay.
And practice writing letters.
Brush your teeth with your left hand.
Absolutely. You really have to think about it. You concentrate when you're doing that.
Yeah. Those are some really super simple things.
Yeah. And do it every day.
Yeah.
You get good at it. You'll get good at it.
Yeah.
Also, it wakes up that brain. Also, it's been shown to help with cognitive skills. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Engage in meaningful conversation. When was the last time you sat with a friend and had a meaningful conversation?
Like talking about history and science and things like that, not just like, you look cute today, I like this, or like just really,
we're right. We finished with an election. We were in the middle of COVID pandemic. That's been on the forefront of all conversation.
Yes.
And people's opinion. Talk about something that has nothing to do with that.
That would be amazing.
Wouldn't it, though?
Yes.
Not that that's not important in our lives, but have a conversation that has something to do with something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there are other things.
There are other things.
There are other
Other things in life.
Yes.
And one little mini way to do that is have a little book club. Maybe just 2 people.
Oh, yeah.
You're both reading the same book, 2 chapters a week, and you talk about the chapters.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll spark a conversation about the times, the clothing, the music, the food.
Yeah.
To, again, just get that brain thinking about things it doesn't usually think about.
Yeah. And that you can even do this over Zoom. So you have a face-to-face if you're not meeting in person. But I think the face-to-face is super important. You can do it over the phone, clearly. But I think, my experience that I'm coming to find, I didn't start the Zoom thing really, to be honest with you, until we did COVID. We do some of these meetings, conference thingies, but not often because we weren't restricted.
Right.
But now I'm finding that, and not that I think Zoom is the end all to be all going into the future, because I still think we need that personal interaction. So I'm just putting that out there. But I think that if you don't have the ability to meet face to face, it is such a personal way that you can meet with people that, you know, you're not right next door to, or that in different states, what have you. It really has been a way to really connect with people. And you can do that without, you know, just for the average person. And it's a really great way to do that. And you can you can do a book club on Zoom.
Yeah, and for the individuals that don't know how to access Zoom or that, just a phone call.
Yeah.
You know, I have a really good friend that she and I will watch TV shows, the same TV show.
Yeah.
And we'll call each other during the commercial.
Yeah.
Now, we love Big Brother. And we'll watch Big Brother.
Girl, we're going to talk.
Big Brother. And this is my infomercial about Big Brother. So we call each other during the commercial. And we will, oh, this one needs to go. And, well, I can't believe they did that. And it is just, you know, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, but that is, I mean, we talk about other things in other conversations.
Right.
But during Big Brother, that's what we do.
Right.
You know, and it is just so much fun.
That's so fun.
Because that's, you know,
Right.
and it's just Big Brother talk. And, but I'm going to, she's a big reader. I'm going to try it with the book. But over the phone of just doing that, I put her on speakerphone and we do this.
Yeah.
So you can do it over there. But it's amazing how it will lead to other things with the book.
Right.
My church just finished one. We were reading 2 chapters, and there were 15 of us. And it was amazing how much I learned about the people that were there, that it had not a lot to do with what we had read, but it did trigger other things. And I learned so much about the other people, and some of them I didn't know.
Right.
But I know them now.
Yeah. No, I think
and
that's amazing.
I love and care about them now
Right.
because I feel like they opened
shared.
up their soul.
Yeah, they
Right.
shared
You know,
themselves.
They shared
Yeah, they
themselves,
did.
and it was raw.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and it was really, really cool.
Right.
It really was. So
Yeah.
I have new friends.
Yeah, so connecting with people and keeping relationships going, I do definitely think that that's important. And having conversations that are not just basic conversations, you know, really deep thought conversations, type of things, meaningful conversations, I guess you would put it.
There's also brain games that you can do. Now, I know that that's in our topic, but, you know, crossword puzzles. Most of the crossword puzzles in the newspaper, they all have, you know, common words from day to day. Sudoku, word search. You know, depending on how good you are at it, you can buy the books. You know, I see a lot of people carrying the word search and their pencils and pens in there, but word search.
So, you know, going back to my grandmother, and I told you that she had like spot on, no cognitive, my great grandmother as well. My whole life, now neither one of them ever worked. They just were blessed enough to never have to work. But that wasn't completely unusual for their age and time. But my grandmother every morning would sit and she would do Bible study to start her morning, every single solitary morning. I remember it growing up as a kid. And she would also do crossword puzzles and do word searches every single solitary. She had books. She did it. I mean, she literally, and she was good too.
Yeah.
Yes. So I do remember every single solitary morning, that's what she would do.
Yeah.
So interesting.
And I have a friend that works out the Space Center, and he does the crossword puzzle. The whole group of them do. And then at lunchtime, if they've struggled on any, they have the rest of them at lunchtime.
Wow.
It's just a whole
So
group of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's neat.
That
I
is
thought
really
it was
neat.
really neat.
Yeah.
I tried, and no, it's not my forte.
Yeah.
You know, the most I could get was 4 words. And you can't cheat on that. So,
Yeah.
Other brain games, and you know, it's really important to have socialization. It's been proven that socialization is very, very important to be around. I mean, you know, we by nature we need to be around people. You know, card games with friends. Now, right now, we've got this pandemic thing going on, and they're saying self-isolate. But I heard on the news they were talking about playing chess at home and someone else at home. And so you play a chess game in your home and they're in their home. So
there's so many
there's
options
so many things
with
that you can do.
with electronics right now. It's just it's bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm gonna throw a caveat in there, and that's that often we get into a rut. We're doing word search, but that's all we've done. And it's kind of like saying, I play the piano, but you only know 3 songs. You've got to play different keys on that piano. You've got to learn something new. You've got to get out of your comfort zone.
Gotcha.
So go to a different church, go to a different play than you would go to, read a different kind of book, play a different kind of game.
Switch it up for your brain.
Exactly.
And learn a new language. I mean, I tried Spanish. I learned a few words. It's funny, me trying to speak Spanish with this Southern accent. Dr. Pam laughed and laughed. I was speaking with one of our patients, and she was in the other room with the daughter, and I could hear them laughing because all she said was my Southern accent and trying to speak Spanish. I did pretty good, but not real good. But it was,
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. But
funny.
learning, there's a lot of apps out there with the learning a new language.
Oh my gracious. All right. Well, I think we're going to take a break, and we'll come back in a few minutes, and we'll talk about other brain games that are perfect for people to help them with their brain.
Okay.
Healthcare, we believe every life is poetry in motion, motivated by strength and determination. As your bone, muscle, and joint healthcare partners, we believe in blending the art of healing with the science of medicine to keep your body in motion. We believe in healing patients, healing families, and healing communities. For a free orthopedic health assessment, visit parrishhealthcare.com/orthoaware. Parrish Healthcare, where the art of healing comes to life.
Hey, Mom, how's the retirement home search coming?
Oh my gosh, I'm just so stressed out. I don't even know where to begin.
Well, why are you so stressed? What's the matter?
I don't know where to find anything. I just need everything in like one place and know what all the options are.
Does the idea of searching for senior housing seem overwhelming and you just aren't sure where to even begin? SeniorLivingGuide.com has great news for you. We offer a one-stop solution to take the stress out of your senior housing search. At SeniorLivingGuide.com, both our statewide Florida edition book and website are created to make your senior housing search very easy for you to navigate. We provide details on communities, including retirement, assisted living, skilled nursing, memory care, and home health, allowing you to decide which best fits your needs and then connecting you directly with those communities. Visit us online at SeniorLivingGuide.com and start your search today and start de-stressing.
At Parrish Healthcare, we believe every life is poetry in motion, motivated by strength and determination. As your bone, muscle, and joint healthcare partners, we believe in blending the art of healing with the science of medicine to keep your body in motion. We believe in healing patients, healing families, and healing communities. For a free orthopedic health assessment, visit parrishhealthcare.com/orthoaware. Parrish Healthcare, where the art of healing comes to life.
Welcome back. We are joined by Dr. Pam and Janet Rooks from Parrish Healthcare. So let's talk a little bit more. We're talking about dementia and brain games and different ways to help your brain and keeping it healthy. So how important is emotional health and spiritual happiness in order to attain those goals?
It's so important to be grounded in whatever your beliefs are, but to keep yourself healthy, to take time for yourself, take time to deal with your emotions, process your emotions, and release some of those emotions.
Absolutely. You know, we've seen caregivers come in, and they are holding so much animosity and anger and frustration. And it's amazing. They'll come into my office and sit there, and they'll just cry. They just start crying. And part of it is sadness, but a lot of it is just anger. And, we buy tissues by the case. And they'll say, I don't know where these tears are coming from. And I'll say, I do. And with the patient that comes in that may be having some memory issues, we see more anger than we do the sadness. But then we'll see the sadness because they can't do what they used to do.
Yeah, and a lot of people were taught, bottle up those emotions. Don't show the neighbors. Don't talk about what's wrong.
Right.
And now it's, you know what, you're going to have to deal with some of this. You're going to have to figure out, is meditating quietly going to help you? Is talking it out, is reading supportive books, or is going for a walk and getting out in the fresh air? Is that what you need to do?
Right.
To take care of you. Sometimes we tell people, you have needs. And they're like, no, I don't. Yes, you do. You're a human being. You need rest and support and calmness.
And I'll give them permission, not that I have that power,
Right.
but I'll say, you have permission to take care of you. You have permission to cry. You have permission to do and fill in the blank. I'll say, get in the shower. When you're in the shower, cry. Just wash those tears away.
Shower is amazing for that.
It really is.
Yes.
And I said, if you come out and your eyes are a little red, you got soap in them.
Right.
And, therapeutic fields take care of that, to just do that. And, support groups are really great in validating what you're going through. And, right now, the support groups are kind of on hold, but, there's the online support groups. There's other venues of doing that. Call a friend. And, make sure that you've got a good support system in dealing with that. But, for the individual that's having memory issues or a little frustrated, that sort of thing, talk to your doctor. Talk to your doctor or talk to somebody that's safe.
Yeah, no, those are really great tips. And the shower thing, I think everyone can probably agree, a really good cry is it can make you feel so much better. I mean, sometimes you just got to let it go. I think it just it just relieves all the pressure and the stress and the anxiety. And I think just having a really good cry just relieves so much stress.
There's a Hallmark movie on continuously right now. And they're always good tearjerkers.
Oh, okay. I got you. I was like, I wasn't sure where you were going with that, but now I get it.
Hallmark movie.
Yes.
During the holidays. There's you can always predict what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
But a good Hallmark movie.
This is
it's
true.
a good tearjerker, but it really is.
Absolutely.
But take time for yourself.
Yeah.
And do that.
And people they won't give themselves what they really need, but they'll try to put the Band-Aid on, and they'll say, well, I feel kind of down. I know. I'll buy these pastries. And then you're eating them, and you don't realize that you're actually feeling worse.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's actually making you feel
Lucky.
sadder, full. As opposed to, you know what, I'm going to take some time for myself, or I'm going to buy myself something healthy and festive. To just, again, you're worth it. You need to take care of yourself.
Well, and you mentioned mindfulness a while ago, Dr. Pam. Being mindful of what you put into your body, being mindful of your surroundings, that's a term that we're hearing more and more. But really practice anchoring yourself, being around, aware of your surroundings, being aware of what you're doing for yourself and what you're eating. Not just stuffing it in, but when you take a bite of that pastry, when you eat that piece of chocolate, not just chewing it up and swallowing it, but just really enjoying that piece of chocolate.
So that one chocolate will do it for you.
Take care of it.
Yeah.
Bite it in half instead of just sticking the whole thing in there and swallowing it. Yeah.
Maybe buy one piece of really expensive, nice chocolate besides like a whole bag of,
something those
inexpensive chocolate.
Yeah, that you've had for, Yeah, exactly.
Quality over quantity.
And your environment. One of the things we recommend is declutter. So that there's less there. You can find things. You can use external organization. So it's not I'm running around the house looking for this paper because there's only one place that it's going to be. And the physical activity of, okay, I'm going to clean out this spice cabinet and get rid of all these spices that I've had for 10 years.
That are gross.
Yeah. And and that don't smell very good anymore. Again, it's a physical activity. It's a mental activity. It's a calming activity and a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
And don't get into what I do, which is, well, now that this is clean, now I have to clean out every other cupboard in my entire house right now.
Yeah.
And get it done by supper time.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it becomes like a major project.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I think, we are so very blessed to live here in Florida, where we have weather typically that you can just pop outside and just walk around the neighborhood, or you can walk around just even a small area. And we are on the coast where we have a beautiful beach that we can walk along. So even just getting out, and I personally find that just getting a few breaths of fresh air can completely just, de-stress and put you in a different place. Even 5-10 minutes. I'm not talking about getting out and, doing a marathon, but just a few minutes of fresh air to just kind of decompress can just make such a big difference in your entire day.
And every year they come out with things to prevent dementia, things to slow the progression. The number one for years and years and years, physical activity.
Yeah.
So when I tell people physical activity and exercise, I get the pushback. I don't have time. I'm too busy. I've never been an exercise person. I don't have time. I this, I that. I'm too busy. There's always 15 excuses. But the fact is I'll say, well, could you exercise a minute a day? Like, what, a minute a day? Well, you can't tell me you don't have a minute.
Right.
And then 2 minutes, and then 3 minutes. And, Janet has a couple tricks that she'll tell some of our older folks.
Get up during, sit up straight, take a deep breath, move your arms. Then work up to during the commercials. During the commercial, if you've got the TV on, then during the commercial, stand up, hold on to the back of a chair. There's, sit and fit, sit and be fit. It's on the public broadcast channel, and that's nationwide. I know we're talking about Florida, but nationwide they have sit and be fit. Check your local directory. Then when you get really feisty, walk out to the end of the driveway and back.
Everybody goes and gets their mail.
Everybody goes, and,
so make it.
So get one piece at a time.
Yeah, one piece
at a time.
Yeah.
Do some leg stretches on your way out. Do some little lungey things on your way out to the mailbox.
And before you know it, you're going to get real excited, and you're going to want to do more.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But realize when you walk, you got to come back home.
Yeah.
So. But but don't.
I think she meant don't overdo it.
Or have your phone and your Uber ready to go. Yes.
But don't become one of those folks that just says, "Okay, I'm gonna start exercising. I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm gonna do an hour." And then the next morning you can't get out of bed.
Right.
And then the next day you're even worse.
Yeah.
As far as being sore. Moderation, go slow, but the payoff is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You're going to feel, you're going to look better, you're going to feel better,
and you'll start craving it.
And you'll start craving it.
Yeah,
and and it will. It's just it's phenomenal. It really is.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Dr. Pam, tell me, is there anything that has been proven to decrease the rate of dementia?
And again, it's physical activity. And, sometimes it's marching in place, but sometimes it's walking with a friend outside. Sometimes it's on a treadmill. Sometimes it's a class, and yoga, Tai Chi, dancing. It's all part of it.
Right.
And you can dance in a chair, you can dance sitting down.
So basically what you're saying is if you have dementia, if you've been diagnosed with dementia or you have like the early signs of it, if you start doing exercise, it can really kind of slow the process of the disease down.
And they don't know exactly why. They think some of it is the endorphins, just kind of the positive energy that helps people focus and concentrate. Is it the oxygenation? Is it because exercise helps control the diabetes, the high blood pressure, the cholesterol, so fewer of the strokes? But it's all good. It's all positive benefits.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Music will kind of unlock some of those memories, and I've seen it on videos where someone is in a facility and they haven't spoken and they haven't responded. They put the headsets on, and then you will have someone that it'll unlock an old memory. and it's just phenomenal. All of a sudden, they're dancing in their chair, but it's unlocked an old memory.
Yeah. There was actually a video that you probably saw. It went completely viral. It was, I believe she was a Broadway ballerina.
Yeah, I saw that.
And she has Alzheimer's, and it's very, very advanced Alzheimer's. When they played, I think it was the Nutcracker or something that she was in on Broadway, she is in a wheelchair. She's very, very elderly, but she started doing all of the moves, and they corresponded it because they had it like on video, and it was very old from what she did. She was doing all the same moves. They put headset on her, and she literally was mimicking everything that she did during that production, and it was quite remarkable.
Yeah.
Quite remarkable that she could recall all of the moves from a dance that she did. I think she was probably in her 20s. Yeah. So it was incredible. But it was a viral video because it was so absolutely incredible.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And, when we think about, how come our older people, when we were growing up, why did that grandmother, great-grandmother, why were they so sharp?
Right.
Some of it was because there was more physical activity. You hung clothes out on the line. You pushed a push mower.
Yeah.
You walked to the little store.
Yeah.
There was a lot more physical activity, and there was a lot more quiet and less interruptions and less, 5 or 8 hours of screen time a day.
Or like no screen time.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't recall them really watching a lot of television. They were very family oriented, all in the family and doing things and going. It is funny because they did not work. They did not have a 9-to-5 job, but I don't recall them ever really sitting down for 5 minutes. They just kept going. So, yeah.
They had a job, but it started at daylight or
Oh,
before
yeah,
daylight.
absolutely.
And
Yes,
it
exactly.
Ended, and it ended when it got dark
Exactly.
or after dinner when they were sitting and spending time with the family.
Yeah.
And then bedtime was early and, they were exhausted from everything they did.
Yeah.
And, and
Each of them raised 4 girls. So they were handful girls, too, I got to tell you.
So
My mama was one of them.
The laundry was sitting in the refrigerator waiting to be ironed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my grandmother did
You
that.
haven't
Sprinkled
thought
it
about that?
with an
Yeah.
RC bottle. I can see
Exactly.
that bottle now.
Exactly. And I will tell you, my great-grandmother, that, clearly she was, she died years ago, but they had a little store that was into their street that they did run a store out of. So that was really, I think my grandfather did most of the work on that. But I mean, they did have their own little store, which you would never do anymore because it was in a neighborhood. So you could just walk down the street and there would be like a little convenience store at the end of the driveway in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Crazy, but
See, and that's what we talk about when we talk about these meaningful conversations. We all feel a lot better imagining your great-grandmother
And
doing
have you
that.
shared that story with your children?
yeah.
Share that story with your children. Paint that picture of what you just told us with them, and and that way they will be able to tell their children, and it's so cool.
Yeah. It really is. What a cool story, right?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that story.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, I think that is the end of our episode. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies, and we'll see you next time.